Sunday night on 60 Minutes, they aired their investigation into fake news, which, as you may have guessed, was almost entirely fake.
In this last election, the nation was assaulted by imposters masquerading as reporters. Many did it to influence the outcome, others just to make a buck.
What's fake news? 60 Minutes producers investigate. What surprised 60 Minutes producers who reported on stories that are probably false, and why arguing about it is like going down the rabbit hole. Of course, all this fear-mongering about fake news, which just miraculously started immediately after Hillary Clinton lost the election, is being used to justify rolling out massive censorship on social media. Because the political establishment and the mainstream media monopolies don't want any small and independent news outlets to have their information spread. In this 60 Minutes investigation, they used a few examples of what they said were fake news stories that went viral through Facebook and got read millions and millions of times. What are these prime examples of fake news that CBS needs us to be saved from through massive censorship on social media and demonetization through Google and YouTube? Stories like this. They literally used this story as one of the examples, by the way, with a headline that reads, "After a colonoscopy reveals brain tumor, Donald Trump drops out from the race." A story that was published on a no-name website back in August of 2016, a couple months before the election, that any moron should be able to see is satire. And let me explain the satire to you, CBS, because I know you're complete morons. There's an old saying about someone having their head up their rear end. And so this headline, talking about a colonoscopy discovering a brain tumor, is a reference to that joke. And it means that they think that Donald Trump has his head up his rear. I'm sorry I had to spell that out to you. This was another example that they used to highlight the problem of fake news on 60 Minutes. This article from Celebricity.com with a headline that reads, "Donald Trump caught snorting cocaine by hotel staff," which came out before the election. This isn't really fake news. Just watch. This is what they think is fake. The internet is buzzing today after white supremacist presidential candidate Donald Trump was caught by hotel staff snorting cocaine. Marina Gonzalez, an employee at the Folks Inn and Suites Hotel in Phoenix, brought room service to his room and witnessed it all. She's quoted as saying, "When I walked in, I saw 3 naked prostitutes and maybe 100,000 in $100 bills and a mountain of white powder on the table. And I thought it was a dog on the floor asleep. Not asleep, not sleeping," which is what it's supposed to say. I saw a dog on the floor. I thought it was a dog on the floor sleep, but it was his hairpiece. He was bald and sweating like crazy. I asked him where to put the food, and he asked me if I want to take a hit. I told him no, but I'll take some of that money. He called me a freeloader, told me to get the F out of his room and go back to my country. We reached out to the Trump campaign, and he released a statement saying, "I did not disrespect that woman. She's a damn liar. And I don't do drugs. I do business. When I get elected, all hotel employees will have to be U.S. citizens." These are literally some of the top examples that 60 Minutes is using in order to cry for more censorship on social media. Just remember how this fake news scare got started. Immediately after the election, the liberal media, in concert, started crying about fake news on social media being spread through Facebook. The Washington Post, the Washington Compost published this article. "Oh, the Facebook fake news writer even admits, I think Donald Trump's in the White House because of me." Rolling Stone repeated the same insanity. How a fake newsman accidentally helped Trump win the White House. Then their conspiracy theories took an even darker turn when they lumped the Russians in with them, with the Washington Compost publishing this article, which they had to issue a retraction for. Russian propaganda effort helped spread the fake news during the election, experts say. And now this whole thing has just backfired and blown up in their face, but they still won't let it go. And major studies have been conducted and prove that fake news had nothing to do with influencing the election. CEO Mark Zuckerberg says it had nothing to do. The chief executive operator over there, Sheryl Sandberg, said it had nothing to do. This research from the Columbia Journalism Review says, is fake news a fake problem? Yes, it is. Just because people click on a fake news story, or in most cases, which is just a satire or a parody news story like the ones that I've covered, doesn't mean that people actually believe it. And if many morons do, the vast majority of people clearly see it is what it is. Now many in the mainstream media are even regretting concocting this entire fake news fiasco, like the Washington Compost, who says, oh, the war against fake news has backfired. You bet it has. I'm Mark Dice, thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new and check back here every day for new reports as we will continue to pound more nails into the coffins of the careers of these clowns in the mainstream media. So stay tuned, new reports coming soon.